Hey, shalom everyone. This is Kazakh Eliyahu Yasharal here for Just a Word, and welcome to another in our series, Hebrew Israelite Errors. Today we look at the danger of using pagan names in worship to our Father. And this error is not throughout the entire Hebrew Israelite movement. Some do not use these symbols, but some do. So this is for those who use pagan symbols in honor of the Most High. This tradition is coming from the Jewish, because our people say that the Jewish have stolen our symbols. That's the excuse that I heard once. The Jewish have stolen our symbols, and so these symbols they stole and they used it for bad, whereas it was used for good. Okay, but we're going to look at the origins of these and to show this is not so. This is gross error. All right. So this error is coming from the synagogue of Satan. And in Revelation 2 verse 9, the Messiah said, I know thy works and tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich. And I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not, but are the synagogue of Satan. So if these people are of the synagogue of Satan and you preach it on the streets daily, of them being the synagogue of Satan, why do you want to take a symbol? Why do you want to take a symbol in worship of the Most High? And the Most High had warned us in his commandment by saying this: no graven images. Shemot 20 verse 4, Exodus 20 verse 4, thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image, or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. No graven image, no likeness of anything that is in heaven above. And what is going to be our center of attention today is what is in heaven above, a star. This is the star that our people are using. This on the right you see here, in blue and white, that is the flag of the nation called Israel. The Jewish nation, those who say they are Jews and are not, but are the synagogue of Satan. This is the symbol that our people have grabbed up and called it their own. But it said in Amos 5, 26 to 27, but ye have borne the tabernacle of your Moloch, and Creon your images, the star of your God, which ye made to yourselves. Therefore will I cause you to go into captivity beyond Damascus, saith Yahuwah, whose name is the Haluah of hosts, Yahuwah Sabaoth. All right? So, this was from way back in the days. The star of your God. This star represents Moloch and Creon, who are really manifestations of Saturn worship. All right? It's called the talisman of Saturn. But the Hebrew Israelites have grabbed it up. So we have groups like the ISUPK and Sikari having the star as the central figure in their logo. And we know that the Most High is against symbols. And we know that the Satanists are heavy users of symbols. Symbols are their thing. That's what they use to hide all their secrets. All right? So, the Most High spoke about worshiping the host of heaven, worshiping stars. Acts 7:42 to 43. Then Alua turned and gave them up to worship the host of heaven. As it is written in the book of the prophets, O ye house of Israel, have ye offered to me slain beasts and sacrifices by the space of 40 years in the wilderness? Yea, ye took up the tabernacle of Moloch, and the star of your god Remphan, figures which ye made to worship them, and I will carry you away beyond Babylon. So we see that for this transgression, the children of Israel will be carried away beyond Babylon. All right? The star of your God, Remphan, that our people have taken up. So this is the star of Remphan. And just as our people turn to these false gods in the wilderness and throughout their history have turned to these star gods which represents Saturn, of course, our people now in our awakening have turned and done the same. All right, and they call it the Star of David, which is a lie, because this is not the Star of David, because it is used in all the pagan religions. Buddhism, you have it right here. Molech or Raphan. Hinduism, we have it in Christianity over here and over here. Okay? These are representatives of Saturn worship. And you can ask yourself, why is the same star used in so many different religions? Something is wrong. Something has to be wrong. But let's look at who or what is Remphan or Raphan. Remphan is the same as Kayun, Saturn, and an idol worshipped by the Israelites way back when. The first mention of this symbol was in 922 BC when Solomon got involved in witchcraft and magic. And this is an excerpt, a summary of a book, but we use the summary to highlight exactly what Remphan is about. This book traces the worship of Ashtoreth, Astarte, meaning star, and Kayun and Remphan, meaning star, from the Egyptians before Solomon's time. So this was before Solomon's time. This was from Egyptian worship as well. Then afterward, in Arab magic and witchcraft through the Middle Ages, it was used by the Druids during the highest Sabbath of the witches called Halloween. The family of the Rothschild, Zionist, and Hitler have all used the symbol, as has the Knesset. Finally, it is featured on the flag of Israel. This was written by Dr. O.J. Graham in his book, The Six-Pointed Star, page 3, introduction. Okay, so we see our people over here, the star, the one with the hole in the book. If you can look on his chest, you see the star. You see ISUPK here with the stars. All right? So, what is this really about? What is this Star of David really about? It is 666. It has 6 points. It forms 6 equilateral triangles, and in its interior forms a 6-sided hexagon. All right, as you can see, maybe you can see it here. 6 sides, 6 triangles, 6-sided hexagon. Thus, it has been intentionally designed with a 666 message. The hexagram was brought to the Israelites by Solomon when he turned to witchcraft and idolatry after his marriage to Pharaoh's daughter in 922 BC. It became known as the Seal of Solomon in Egyptian magic and witchcraft. Okay. And up here we see another notation for it, the 666. 60 degrees plus 60 degrees plus 60 degrees equal 180. And we have 2 triangles, one on the other, which forms 360. 360 equal 36 in gematria. All right? 3 6s equal 666. And from when you add 1 up to 36, you get 666. This is all. These people use their symbols to worship their gods. There's no way we should be using symbols in worship and honor of Yahuwah Sabaoth. Okay? Because we must be perfect before Yahuwah. We must be perfect. Deuteronomy 12, 3-4. And ye shall overthrow their altars, and break their pillars, and burn their groves with fire. And ye shall hew down the graven images of their gods, and destroy the names of them out of that place. So, in honor of the Most High, there is no way we should be perpetuating the graven images of their gods. There's no way we should be using the graven images of their gods in honor of Yahuwah. We should tear them down. He said in verse 4, ye shall not do so unto Yahuwah, your Elohah. And verse 29-32, it says, when Yahuwah thy Elohah shall cut off the nations from before thee, whither thou goest to possess them, and thou succeedest them and dwellest in their land, Of course, we are now not going to conquer any land, but we were under the penalty of serving other gods that our fathers never knew. So we were in Christianity, we were in Islam, all right? But now we have awakened. So, now that we have awakened, verse 30 now applies to us. Take heed to thyself that thou be not snared by following them, after that they be destroyed from before thee, and that thou inquire not after their gods, saying, how did these nations serve their gods? Even so will I do. Likewise, that's what they have done with Judaism. Judaism uses the Star of David to worship their gods, and now they have inquired and are now doing likewise. What does the Father say? Thou shalt not do so unto Yahuwah thy Elohah. For every abomination to Yahuwah which he hateth have they done unto their gods. For even their sons and their daughters they have burnt in the fire to their gods. And we know the worship of Moloch involved heavy child sacrifice. That is what everyone knows about Moloch. Passing their sons and their daughters through the fire unto Moloch, and Kayun also sacrifice. All right? So that's why the Most High says he hates their abomination, and now you are going to worship the Most High with the same way in which those gods are worshipped. No, the Father said, what things soever I command you, observe to do it. Thou shalt not add thereto nor diminish from it. So what these Hebrew Israelites are doing, they are adding to the worship of Alua. Because Alua did not tell them to worship him the way these nations worship him, to worship him using a six-pointed star. No, he never ever told them to worship. So this is adding to the word. And the Most High told us in Jeremiah 10, he told us not to learn the ways of the heathen. Thus saith Yahuwah, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them, the signs of heaven, the stars. Do not learn the ways of the heathen. What is wrong with our people? We are in this awakening, and the Most High is awakening us, showing us his way. And what do? Stray and have gone into the way of the heathen, saying and claiming that we are following Yahuwah. And no wonder these groups are so aggressive, and the Ruach Messiah, the Spirit of Messiah, does not show in them, because they are under false worship. In our series, at first we looked at the fact that they followed the wrong way, that there is no Hebrew Israelite in the scriptures, and there is no instruction in the scriptures or record in the scriptures of their faith, of their religion. All right? In the second one, we look at baptism, because a lot of them, some do not believe in baptism. And hand in hand with that is the third part, where we looked at the fact that many of them, they don't believe in baptism and that we are in the new covenant. All right? And in the next one we looked at the worship of the Most High using false names. And now we are looking at these symbols that they are using, and it goes to show, putting all of this together, it goes to show that the Hebrew Israelite is a false religion. Okay? It is not the way. And you can go back to part 1 and see what we're speaking about when we say it is not the way. So let us go to 2 Peter 3, verse 10, because we know that we have to be found of the Messiah without spot or wrinkle. We cannot have any faults. We must be perfect. We must be blameless on that day. It's a walk of perfection. So all of these faults that we're finding with the Hebrew Israelites, they have to iron them out, because 2 Peter 3, verse 10 says, but the day of Yahuwah will come as a thief in the night, in the which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. The earth also and the works that are therein shall be burnt up. Seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of persons ought ye to be in all holy conversations and holiness, looking for and hasting unto the coming of the day of Alua, wherein the heavens being on fire shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat? Nevertheless, We, according to his promise, look for new heavens and a new earth wherein dwelleth righteousness. And hear this now. Wherefore, beloved, seeing that you look for such things, be diligent that ye may be found of him in peace, without spot, and blameless. Okay, so this is why we need to take heed of this series. It's very, 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 very serious. Okay? And it gets even worse when we look at the penalty for mixing worship. The penalty for mixing worship. Zephaniah 1, verse 1 to 6. Verse 2, I will utterly consume all things from off the land, saith Yahuwah. I will consume man and beast. I will consume the fowls of the heaven and the fishes of the sea and the stumbling blocks with the wicked, and I will cut off man from off the land, saith Yahuwah. I will also stretch out mine hand upon Judah and upon all the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and I will cut off the remnant of Baal from this place, and the name of the Chemarims with the priests, and them that worship the host of heaven upon the housetops, and them that worship and that swear by Yahuwah and that swear by Malcolm. Now this is very important. Those who worship and swear by Yahuwah and yet still swear by the name of another God, they will be destroyed. So this is the danger of using the star of Moloch, the star of Kayun, in worship to the Most High. Because if you have that on your logo, that shows who you are worshiping. So you're actually worshiping these gods while worshiping Yahuwah. And verse 6 says, and them that are turned back from Yahuwah, and those that have not sought Yahuwah, nor inquired of him. So all of these people will be destroyed. The only people who will be saved are those who truly worship Yahuwah and serve him alone. Him only shalt thou serve. Okay? So that is the danger of the Hebrew Israelite movement. Okay? So this was a relatively short presentation looking at the danger of using pagan symbols in honor of the Most High. This is a dangerous, dangerous thing. Okay? So thanks once again for watching as we continue our series looking at the errors of the Hebrew Israelite movement. This is Chazak Eliyahu Yasharal. Please comment, share, like, subscribe to our channel. All right, as we continue to share the word of truth. All right, shalom.